Hello YouTubers and welcome to another video with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppets. Today getting to check out a brand new hop released from Yakima Chief. So Yakima Chief, you might know him, it's one of the most famous hop growers and hops wholesale companies for American hops. I personally think, and that's not just because Yakima Chief was kind enough to send these beers, that they make, or at least what I've had in personal experience brewing, produce some of the highest quality American hops I've had my hands on. I think usually what you get from these guys is great. They've done quite a few collaborations before, but now they're doing it bigger because they set out to do a series of new collaborations for their new Talus Hop. I think they did a release in the States, but they also did one in Europe with collaborating with European brewers. And I gotta thank Luke from Yakima Chief for sending these out. I think we're just gonna go through them here in one video, kind of to get a feel for the new hop. So they were kind enough also to send this this nice info spreadsheet, where there's like a little infographic about the hop and like contents and everything. It's very nice. And actually 7 breweries did a collaboration with Yakima Chief, but we only got 6 because one was from AF Brew in Russia, and that was apparently delayed or they couldn't get it out of the country. So instead we're trying these. So we're trying a Basque Land collab, a Crack collab, the Piggy brewing collab, Siren craft brew collab, Uiltje collab, and Uiltje collab. And all of them, like what they were told, is just like you can, if you want to do the collab and brew a beer or IPA, where the new Talus hop is in focus. And that's what they did. So the whole focus of these beers are to showcase this new hop and show you guys and show consumers what it can taste like. It's a sister to Sabro as well, which makes it really interesting because Sabro was one of the most popular recent hops to come out, newer hops from Yakima. And the original name for this was HBC 692. So it's really cool that they did this. I don't think I've seen something like this before with like this many brewers participating and trying to check out a new hop and see what it's like. But according to themselves, it says it should have an aroma profile of pink grapefruit, sage, citrus rinds, dried roses, pine resin, and tropical fruit. So there's a lot of stuff. It sounds like a kind of like a combination of old school hop flavor and new school hop flavors, which could be quite nice. And it says Talus is with Talus, what you smell in the field is what you'll get in the glass. So pretty much when you smell the hop cone, that's exactly what it translates to in the beer, in the final product, which is pretty cool. And then you got, all your very nerdy stuff in terms of myrcene content, beta alpha acids, oil content, all that. We're not going to go into that. That's more interesting if you're a brewer. But they do have a little aroma wheel where you can see the big peak is sweet aromatic in terms of flavor, along with stone fruit and herbal. Also a little bit of citrus. So yeah, this will be fun checking these out. So we're going to start out with this one, which is made in collaboration with Basque Land. And this is Mucho Talus Double Dry Hop IPA on 5.7% alcohol. I don't think I've reviewed much Basque Land, if any. I don't think so, no. They're based in Spain, so this actually might be my very first beer from these guys. I'm pretty sure, actually. I don't think I've had any at all. So 18 plus, but not much info. They're like classic IPA brewers, or classic IPAs. A lot of IPAs brewers nowadays, there's a hop on the can, and that's about it. Beautiful looking can though. So yeah, let's start out with this one. In the glass right here. And it is totally hazy. It's in Donosita, San Sebastian, Spain, if I can pronounce that right. But this looks exactly what you'd expect from this kind of beer. It's a hazy New England looking IPA. I mean, they don't say New England on the can. It's just this double dry hop IPA. So it might be kind of like a hybrid type thing. Because I noticed a lot of them just says double dry hop IPAs and not New England IPAs. But let's check it out. The first beer with Talus. Golden hazy yellow. Yeah, pine resin for sure, but it has a very bold, sweet, limey citrus thing, I think. It's really interesting. Like they really nail the description on the sheet here, as they say, like in terms of hop aromatics. It's totally. I can even see the sage. Sometimes you get something like this in your head because it says so on the descriptions, but I totally do smell it. Pink grapefruit. I don't think it's too tropical in this. There's like an undertone of tropical vibes, but maybe more sweet stone fruit as they talk about too. It smells very nice. It's almost a little bit reminiscent of Sriracha Ace. Just like instead of dill, it's like a sage type herbal thing. Let's try it. Cheers. And thanks to Yakima, specifically Luke, for the beers. Oh yeah, it's totally like, it's almost like a cross Sriracha Ace and Sabro. And wow, that's a really nice IPA for 5.7%. The thing is, like, I'm impressed with the amount of flavor. All these are from September, early September. We're late October now, so I'm guessing they've been standing cold at the breweries or something, because this is really holding up. So I don't have these tasting notes, but it's more fun, to use your own palate and see what you think. And for me, again, it's like really, it's like dill or lemongrassy thing you get from Sriracha Ace. It's kind of like that, but just more or less like a sage instead. It really reminds me of that. Very bright and aromatic. And citric pithy. I can also definitely see sugar-coated pink grapefruit. Mostly tropical fruit vibes. I'm not really getting much. Maybe a hint of pineapple. It could probably be bigger if it was fresher. But the big thing really jumping at me is that it reminds me a bit of a more modernized Sriracha Ace. This is a crusher of an IPA though. And 5.7%. You can easily have a few cans of this. I think we started off with maybe one of the better ones because it is really, really good. And I haven't had anything from Basque Land, but I think a lot of people have talked about them being very nice. But yeah, like this unique herbal character of like sage, lemongrassy, and then like lots of lime. And then there are hints of pineapple to me in terms of the tropical fruit vibe, and definitely grapefruit. Especially on the aftertaste, it's like the pink grapefruit and then also pine. So it's kind of like upfront new school, and aftertaste is a bit more old school, which is interesting. And also, like, you can taste that it's a breed that stems from the Sabro hop, because it almost has like that slightly tropical coconut vibe. It's something similar. It's a very cool hop. I think this actually would work very well with Sabro. Well, that's fun. Very good. So, moving on to Toil from Denmark. They brewed this one, Stereo Mono Talus. I think Stereo Mono is a series they do of just single hop New England IPAs. And this one is with Talus. This is 6.8%. And I wonder if this is actually brewed at their new facility. It is. Great. So, yeah, 6.8% single hopped New England IPA with Talus. This one is much more murky. I mean, this tastes kind of like a New England IPA, but they don't say it is one. It's just not as hazy as, this. This is turkey gravy. This is exactly what you expect, but let's check out the aroma on this one. Oh yeah, so interestingly, this is fun to see how it works with this yeast, because this yeast has more of a pronounced stone fruit character with the hops, and you're not getting as much of that sagey kind of aroma. There's an undertone, but it's mostly like big stone fruit and yeah, like sweet tropical fruit too, a little bit, but also like, yeah, it's an interesting, fun combo, bright stuff. There is that kind of Sriracha Ace thing still there in the back, but this smells like a really dope hop to play around with, especially with different hop varieties. I think it so far works very well alone too, but let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, the flavor is, again, like sage. I totally see that. It's really like a cross between Sabro and Sriracha Ace. It's very fun. This one has less of that pink grapefruit flavor. Maybe some pink grapefruit juice. It's not as bitter. The other one had a bit more bitterness. 30 IBUs. It just tasted a bit more bitter. This is more creamy and velvety. Stone fruit, bright pineapple, bright lemon, lime. Almost like the sweetness of it, like the sweet aromatic kind of tropical vibes. almost for a sec I got something that reminded me of vanilla. But it's like really, maybe even like, oh, what was it called? Was it Jack? No, not Jack, something. I had it on Madeira. I think it's called a custard apple. It's like overripe, sweet, apple-y kind of. Oh, maybe not apple-y. It just tastes a little similar to that. They also had something they called a pineapple banana, which was kind of like almost like you mixed a custard apple and a banana and a pineapple. I'm almost getting vibes like that in this. Like very uniquely tropical fruity. It's not just what you always think of, like mango, pineapple, passion fruit, papaya, whatever. Like quite exotic. This is really cool. This is really exciting because it's actually a really tasty hop. So yeah, so far also like lots of tangerine on this one, like really mandarin orangey. Fun. So moving on. So to some West Coast IPA. This will be interesting to see because we got something in between, kind of got very much New England. It'll be fun to see how it works in this. This is the Siren collab called Neo Normal California IPA. That's brewed with Talus Hops. This is 7.3% alcohol by volume. It is a West Coast IPA. They designed this California IPA to showcase Talus trademark aromas of pink grapefruit, tropical fruit, pine, and floral notes. It said floral notes, they say. So I guess they chose to go. It's kind of what they explain on the label, but I guess they kind of chose to try and use it so you get slightly more old school flavor. So maybe make more of a new school West Coast IPA. Yeah, I think so. I'd imagine. Because these new school West Coast IPAs that are bitter, but has like lots of fruity hop flavor, I really enjoy those. And in general, just, I love West Coast IPA. It's great to have these kind of beers again because they've been gone for a long time. But at least in Europe, everyone, is doing haze now. But it doesn't say IBU, but let's just dive in. I mean, this one looks like what it's supposed to. It's crystal clear. Just a little bit of chill haze. It's golden yellow. Let's check it out. Yeah, so it's definitely more herbal in a West Coast IPA because you don't have the same yeast character to support all the sweet, fruity notes of the hop. So the sage is even more dominant on this to me, and it's like less on the fruity side. Definitely like grapefruit and pine, pith, just like resiny notes too. But it's quite unique with that sage, and I think the sage, it's almost like there's like coconutty sage like vibes almost too, and definitely like lemongrassy. I think the best, again, as I've said so far, the best way to explain this is think of a cross between Sabro and Sriracha Ace. It smells very nice. Cheers! What a versatile hop. Wow. That works well in that too. It's not that bitter. I could have used a bit more bitterness for the style, but that's the fun thing because it kind of, here it's really more presenting itself with like more classic West Coast IPA flavor, like grapefruit, like pink grapefruit, sweet citrus, but also pine and pith, and even a bit of like resiny notes. Exactly what you expect from like San Diego style West Coast IPAs, but there is definitely undertones of more new school West Coast IPAs with like slight tropical vibes, but it's a bit more generic on this one. It's not as distinct as in the others. But just like this very, very cool herbal note. I'm really excited about this hop. This is a hop I really hope we'll see more breweries use. I think it works great in both New England IPA and West Coast IPA actually. So all three of these are really nice IPAs. So let's try and move on to this one. This is one, and okay, of course from Ireland. No, are they from Ireland, Siren? No, they're not from Ireland. They're from the UK, right? They are from England, right? I don't know why I thought Ireland. Finch Hampstead, UK. Yeah, so England. But yeah, Piggy Brewing. This is from France. And I've only had one beer they did, which was a collab with Dry and Bitter. But yeah, this is their Project Yakima. And this is an 8% double IPA with the Talus hop. and it's on French on the back, but they say it's also, this one also has Equinaut. So the others only talk about Talus, but this one has Equinaut in it too. And I think the main deal was that the Talus hop had to be like at least, you know, the most dominant hop, and, you know, use it as whirlpool hops or dry hop, whatever, not just like a bittering hop, so you can really taste it. They call this themselves a double New England IPA. It also looks like it, just not mega hazy, but still quite hazy. Golden yellow, like this colors are like pretty much the same across the board, but let's check it out. Also really sagey. This is interesting though, because the other's a bit more fruity. I guess it also depends on how much yeast focus you have in your beer. I mean, how many esters you get from fermentation. Because this doesn't have the same like dripping juicy aroma, but I think it's also the oldest of all the bottles or cans. It's a bit more muted. It's mostly like the sagey, kind of slightly lemongrassy thing, and then, yeah, herbal notes. Maybe some resin and pine, citrus, just generic citrus. It's just a bit more muted. Let's try it. Cheers. Definitely sweeter. This is also a great showcase why you should use cans and not bottles, because this is just a little less aromatic and tasteful than all the others, both in aroma and, well, taste. And I think that's simply just because it's a bottled beer, and these kind of beers are just much better suited in IPAs, and also because I think this is the oldest of the bunch. It's nice though. It's got like a big sweet, kind of malty, but also like generic estery profile, just like sweet generic fruitiness, like slightly tropical stone fruity. Big sage again on this one. It's interesting how much that dominates though, the sage. I didn't expect that at all. Like this interesting coconutty thing is there too, almost. A little bit of hop burn on this one too, interestingly enough. I think this is my least favorite so far, but I still think it's nice. All of them are nice beers, but this is just a bit more muted. Like there's not like, the flavors aren't really peaking as much, so you can really distinguish all the different things. And I think it might be the age, and also I guess format. It's a bottle, because, you know, cans are just much better for IPAs, but it's still nice. So yeah, let's move on to the beer from Uiltje Brewing Company. I think that's how you say it, and I think this is going to be the first time I actually review one of these or try one of these guys' beers. They're based in the Netherlands, and this is they're fresh from the valley, introducing the new Talus Hop. I love their artwork with the owls. It looks fantastic. It looks like kind of, it's very cartoony, but it kind of reminds me of like Disney comics, to be honest. They look nice. And they have a long story on here we're not going to go into, but this is also a double IPA. It says New England double IPA or Imperial IPA on 8%. And this one, it does not say anything about other hops as far as I see. So I'm guessing this is just Talus. And they call it, yeah, a New England double IPA. So it should be, of course, hazy. And it is. Again, one of the mega hazy ones, just like the Toad one. It's going to be very interesting to try one of these. I've heard a lot of people talk nicely about Uiltje in the Netherlands. So let's check it out. So, the first thing I noticed, and I sometimes notice that in New England IPAs, I don't know if it's because the hops are sitting in the tank too long or something, but like an herbal, almost aloe vera type thing. Very floral, this one too. I think also timing and all, like there's so many, you can really taste that too, because they're kind of similar, some of the beers, in terms of style. It just like shows how much it plays in terms of how you dry hop, how long you dry hop, what yeast you use, everything, like when you make IPAs. It's crazy. This is also a little bit more muted. There's some sweet malt. And again, like this slightly pasty kind of herbal thing. Also a good amount of grapefruit. Let's try it. Cheers. Very herbal, but it's not like this like aloe thing I talked about on the aroma, aloe vera. It's more just like really herbal, also quite sweet. I like the others a bit more because they're more singy. Like both of these are nice, but the others are like a bit more singy on the hop character. This is a bit more mellow. They're still very nice tasting, but it's not. It's just got the same popping character. You can taste there's a lot of esters in this too. It's got a lot of that like sweet, overripe fruit flavor, but it's not. Again, it's not like really standing out like overripe peaches, for example, or whatever. It's just more like a generic overripe fruit. And again, very green, like the most herbal one of the ones so far for sure. Like the most sagey and like just herbaceous flavor, with like lots of like just like the very unique like spicy sagey thing. It's not as maybe lemongrassy as the others. And then fruity flavor is mostly for me citrus on this one, maybe lime specifically. But it's also, I mean, it's also tasting quite nice. It's just not as aromatic as the others. But let's jump to the last one. This is from, I think you call them crack. You do. It's just called CR/AK on the description here. But these guys, I had one beer from them. I had a collab they did. I can't remember which one it was. But I have another beer that's a collab from them with Collective Arts from the barrel aged something darkness series they did, which I haven't gotten around to yet, but we'll try it soon. But this is the Crack Brewery All Round Talus Double Dry Hopped Double New England IPA, 8% as well. These guys are from Italy, and a lot of people are really talking about these guys, saying it's some of the best beer to come out of Italy at the moment. It doesn't say anything about other hops on this one, so I'm guessing it's also only Talus, and it's got it says Talus on the can. Which is very cool. So let's check this one out. Also, again, same color, hazy, gold, and yellow. Also very hazy, this one. Whitehead. Let's check out the aroma. Oh yeah, very nice. Very aromatic pineapple on this one. And then, again, like you have to enjoy an herbal IPA for the new Talus Hop. Like this very, like if you hate Storaceace and you're not too intrigued by the herbal and coconutty flavor of the Sabro, I think you will not like this too much because it's got a lot of that. And in general, the hop has. But I think it's very cool and it's a very nice different flavor. This is also a bit candied. Like a candy, kind of Starburst candy ester kind of thing. Almost like limey, coconutty Starburst candy with like sage and then like sweet citrus. Mostly pineapple in terms of tropical notes. But yeah, let's try it. Cheers, guys. That's nice. That is the best for last. That really showcases all of, like, I think this like these three are the ones in terms of New England IPAs that showcases the hop best in terms of the versatility and uniqueness of like different flavors. I think these two are also nice, but they're a bit more muddled. You can taste the uniqueness in terms of the herbal character in both of those, but this one really stands out because this is like pretty much like this, or this just like much more intense and much more popping. The aroma is a little more subdued, but the flavor is really nice. I'm really stoked to see people brewing with this hop, and I'm going to be really stoked to see people brewing different beers with it and just like combining it with different hops and getting new hop flavors in IPAs, because IPA is like the most brewed style at all in craft beer. So it's awesome that hop growing companies like this, they try to reinvent produce new hop varieties. So you kind of produce new takes on what's already going on. So not like all IPAs have to be like Citra Mosaic, Simcoe, Equinaut, whatever, Nelson, Galaxy. It's fun to see all these new hops coming out, and especially when they're as good as this. And the same as like the previous, I guess the mother of this hop, Sabro, like really unique hops that are very versatile. But yeah, this is very tasty, very pin bright. Like this is totally for me, this hop too, because it's like pin bright, but it's also like tropical and like vibrant and yeah, just very unique. I'm surprised how much I dig this, especially considering the age of all these. even though like almost 2 months. I think it's like 5 weeks most of them. So I think it's like they need to be drunk now. But this has like huge, like pink bright, like lime, lemony, pithy notes. Again, it has like this interesting custard apple type, and they called it a banana pineapple when I was on Madeira. It almost has like that, like this like stinging thing that you get from like eating pineapple. That had it even more. It's like almost like that. And then like with the sage, the almost like the lemongrassy vibes. Yeah, definitely my favorite. So if we stack them up, I think it's going to be something like the Crack, the Tour, then the Basque Land, then Neo Normal, and then Uiltje, and then the Project Yakima from Piggy. All of them are really nice. It'd be like, this would be probably like a 94, I think, 93, whereas the others would be like, these two would be around 92, this would be like straight 90, and these would be maybe 91, straight 90, between straight 90 and 88 for those two. They're all very nice beers. This really makes me excited about this hop. I mean, if you guys can get any of these, they're released across Europe right now. If you can get any of these and get your hands on them, you can check out the new Talus Hop. I definitely think you should, because they boast some very unique flavors. And again, I'm not just saying this because Yakima was kind enough to send me these collabs so I could check it out. It's just really nice to try a fun new hop and see how it is, especially when it turned out to be this nice. Because you always get those sheets when first time when you homebrew them, it's like, I don't know if it tastes like that exactly, but this really kind of nails it. And again, if you want to think if this will be something you'll like, think a cross between Sriracha Ace and Sabro, and that's kind of what you get in terms of flavor profile. But yeah, if you guys had a chance to try any of these, let me know what you thought of them. If you've tried to brew with a new Talus hop, or if you just like tried it, smelled it at a festival, or tried any other beer, not just these, let me know what you thought of it. I think it's a very cool new hop we can look forward to being used in IPAs. And, well, possibly other styles too, but mainly IPAs, I think. So, if you guys had a chance to check it out, let me know. Thanks a ton to Yakima for the tasters here, or the set of collaborations, specifically Luke. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in my favorite of the bunch, and see you guys in another beer review tasting video, or whatever. Cheers!